welcome to my kitchen. I am going to show you some good recipes this week that are quick and easy, and you can make a lot of the parts, prepare a lot of the parts ahead of time, and then just whip it all together when you get home from work or when you're ready to get ready for dinner. So these will be quick weeknight meals, but with some weekend preparation will help it along too if you're really crunched for time. So our first recipe is the Taffy apple salad. And I chose it as a dessert, but it's also a salad. But it's got lots of yumminess. And we're going to start out using the covered classic batter bowl. Pampered Chef, of course. I'm going to take the lid off, save that. Now, if I were doing a single batch of this, it would all fit into this bowl. You would put the lid on and stick it in your fridge. Easy peasy. However, it's going to 3 different households, so I'm going to make it in my husband's big fruit bowl here. For your prep ahead of time, I used my food processor, and I didn't use the manual one because I think these are too hard, but these are dry roasted peanuts, coarsely chopped. I used my electric one. I drained a can of pineapple. Now, if you're only going to do one batch, you just need half of a can. But I'm doubling everything. So instead of 1 cup of nuts, I've got 2. Instead of 1 cup of pineapple, I've got 2. And I kept the juice per the instructions. I also took some red and green apples. I corn sliced with the non-Pampered Chef item, but and then I just cut them in 3s, each of the slices in 3s. So those things are all ready. Then I've got 2 cups of Cool Whip type topping. Same with the 2 cups of mini marshmallows. Very easy ingredients. First step is to take Deandra Hall's scraper, because I don't have my Pampered Chef one yet. Now if you're just doing one batch, you just want half of a brick of cream cheese, but I'm gonna do a double, so this way I can figure I won't waste as much stuff either. Because the Cool Whip, it was pretty much 1 tub of Cool Whip, the small tub. So that way, it's 1 can of pineapple. That I just feel like I don't waste as much stuff. Pour in the pineapple juice, just gradually, it says. Just gradually add it. So I'll add some of the whisk. It's going to be stiff at first, but it should get better as time goes on. I'll use my scraper to clean out my whisk while it's kind of chunky still. Whisk a little more. Eventually it'll get to where we've got more whiskable material here, because it's pretty stiff still. I'm not one to figure out what I'm going to eat during the week. I just wing it. But you would probably want to get your recipes out, what you're going to make that week. Make a list. I took my recipes and put them in page protectors because I'm a sloppy cook, obviously. You can just kind of put little post-it notes of what kinds of things you can do ahead of time. Let me give this a good whisking. Now I think I've got it loose enough that it can actually whisk. Hopefully not slop it too much. I'm doing better. I'm a sloppy cook too. Mother like daughter. Stir in my whipped topping. using a knife as my scraper this month. I know that was annoying. I'm in my kitchen. I have more things here than I had at my mother's. My mother doesn't cook. Alright, so I'm just going to whisk it. It says stir. You can do either. But it's fun to use a whisk. Okay, so now we have the part where we're going to start adding things to the apples. But I think since I'm using this bowl, I'm going to go ahead and just get as much in here as I can. So I'm going to use the bowl here for the marshmallows. I'm going to put the tidbits in here. Because I think there's still some juice down here, I'm going to just use a slotted spoon to make sure I don't overjuice it. Probably could have put the juice in there, but and once I get all of these other ingredients together, I'm going to mix them into the bowl where the apples are. I'm going to stir those ingredients in. You don't want to do too hard because you've got the marshmallows, and so we'll just be gently folding all these things in. And then we've got the coarsely chopped dry roasted peanuts. Put the rest. You can see I still have all my Tupperware bowls from back before I got married. I remember getting them in a bridal shower in Ithaca, New York. All right. Now, that's all mixed in together. I'll set this aside and bring my apples in. Clean out my space a little bit. Okay, so now I'm just going to start folding it into the apples. And it's probably going to take a couple of additions here to get it all the way I want it. So some of this is going to Eric's house and some is going to Sarah's house. And we're going to keep some. Ray used to, when he went to the vineyards up in New York where he worked, every day for lunch he would have a Waldorf salad. I detest mayonnaise, but on our first time together, he made me a Waldorf salad. Even though I told him I didn't like mayonnaise, he didn't think Miracle Whip was the same. It's the same. So I had to kind of, I took a few bites to be polite, but I just couldn't. And he knew, he could tell. So he learned then that Miracle Whip is the same as mayo for people who don't like mayo. So I think he's going to like this salad. Even though it's not mayo, it's better stuff than mayo. So this is a nice creamy cheesy salad. And you know, you make it up ahead of time. You're going to put it in your refrigerator. How long it can last in your fridge, I would say it's probably 4 or 5 days anyway. So if you even made it on the weekend and just pulled it out, that would work too. The prep didn't take super long. Just used my food processor a little bit, and most of it would just thaw it or bring it to room temperature. Alright, that's all of it. So now let me get it nice and evenly distributed. It looks so good. We might have some for lunch today. Chill it probably for a couple hours or something just before you eat it. And the recipe calls for serving it on a leaf of Bib lettuce. I couldn't find Bib lettuce. I got artisan lettuce. I think it's close enough. So I will show you that too. I think that's pretty even. We've gotten all the apples out of the bottom. So everything's coated nicely. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of them just to show. the presentation when you're ready to serve. So this will have been chilled. You're going to just take a dollop of it and serve it on a bed of lettuce, or a leaf of lettuce in this case. I'm just going to chill this as is in the refrigerator, and bon appetit! Anybody else love Julia and Julie and Julia? I couldn't remember the name. Ray and I love to watch Julie and Julia. And so, bon appetit.